Hello everyone! Welcome to another 1v1 Warhammer battle. I am bringing Ungrim Iron Fist leading the dwarves, and we are fighting against Chaos. My army consists of 3 miners, 3 dwarf warriors with great weapons, grumbling guard, PK guard, and a longbeard with a great weapon, and then 2 runesmiths. And then 2 gyrobombers. Why 2 gyrobombers, you may ask? That's a very good question. Person watching this and asking this question out loud. Why 2 gyrobombers indeed? Well, let me tell you what I do. I have ideas for armies. I make the army, I save the army, and then I go into a multiplayer match, load the army, and hit start. Well, apparently I was on some crazy drugs when I made this army because these are supposed to be gyrocopters, not gyrobombers. I loaded up this game and I was like, wait a minute. Those aren't gyrocopters, are they? So the idea of this build is to have a bunch of anti-armor to take out, I'm sorry, that's a dwarf warrior, not a miner, to take out a bunch of chaos warriors, because this is an anti-chaos build. And I brought Ungrim Iron Fist leading it, and 2 gyrocopters with brimstone guns, is what these are supposed to be, to try and take out Shaggoths and or Kolek. So that was the idea of this army. Now when I loaded this map up and I realized I was hallucinating when I made it, I was like, okay, well, let's just try to make the best of a bad situation, because who brings 2 gyrobombers? Like, that's the worst idea. Even for me, like, I'm not that dumb. So, what I did here is I condensed my army's formation. Obviously, this is not a very wide formation, and my hopes are that I can get the enemy's army to kind of clump up around this smaller formation and get multiple units stacking on each other, and then utilize the bombs that these gyrobombers have. That is the plan. So the enemy army is being led by Kolek. We have 3 Chaos Marauders with great weapons. You have 2 Forsaken on the flanks. I'm assuming those were sent out to kill, like, my artillery if I had any, or like Rangers, like squishy targets, maybe even Slayers, I'm not entirely sure. Then the main line here, we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons, including a Chosen with great weapons, Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, and then 2 aspiring champions, or 3 aspiring champions. I'm sorry, 2 aspiring champions and a Chaos Troll. A very balanced army, actually. Really more balanced than I thought it was going to be. And then over here on the side, we have a Chaos Warriors, or Chaos Knights with lances. So I'm sending my gyrobombers, my 2 gyrobombers, over here to deal some armor-piercing damage on them as their army approaches me. So the idea here, since I do have some large creatures, I'm going to park my army right here. And since I do have gyrobombers that can threaten their forces, I figured that would get them to attack me. And I want to take any advantage that I can, so if I can get the enemy to engage me in a forest, then that at least makes the trolls and Kolek a little less good. Little less good, yeah, I just said that. Also Chaos Knights. So we're going to go over here, and I can see that the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes are currently chasing me, but I'm going to try and get some shots here. Now, the gyrobombers are armor-piercing, so that's something, and so I'm shooting in the backs of these Chaos Knights, so we're going to get some decent damage in on them here, and I'm also trying to move between shots to try and stay out of range of the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, because those throwing axes do hurt. The gyrobombers, pretty hard there. So yeah, we're just going to chase these Chaos Knights, and the enemy army is slowly marching towards us, and they're going to be engaging us here pretty soon. I'm just going to kind of sit here because I'm mostly micromanaging these gyrocopters, gyrobombers, to try and stay away from these Marauder horsemen, whatever, and shoot in the backs of these Chaos Knights. And yeah, we got some okay damage. We'll get shots here and there, and then I'm going to pull them over to try and fight, help us fight against the horde of chaos that is now marching our way. So you can see the enemy had a pretty wide army formation here, which is, you know, pretty typical. And again, I want them to collapse, which is a risk. You don't really want your army surrounded, but I wanted to try and utilize the bombs. But these armies are going to be coming in like this, and they're going to kind of clump up here, and they're going to kind of clump up here. So that's what the enemy army is going to be doing. Kolek is going to try and stay away from Ungrim Iron Fist, which is a good call. Ungrim does have a bonus versus large now, including a special item that gives him even more bonus versus large and armor piercing damage. So that's good. My runesmiths here are now going to start applying some runes of Wrath and Ruin, and we're going to getting the buffs up here very soon. The gyrobombers, I'm going to be trying to micro here and there. I'm not used to micromanaging gyrobombers, but I'm going to hit the main battle line here to try and help the front line. I'm going to hit them with a couple bombs here and here, but then the main idea is to try and wait for the enemy to clump up and then bomb them later. It's the idea. That's the idea. Anyway, so Ungrim Iron Fist is going to be sent out against Kolek Sun Eater because, well, that's the whole reason why I brought Ungrim over here. Runesmith is going to try and keep my center from collapsing with their buffs and then their runes of Wrath and Ruin. You see a couple bombs being dropped here on these Chaos Marauders. Does a lot of damage to them, so I figured I'd drop a couple. A couple bombs are dropped over here, and then I'm going to be moving both of these gyrobombers right here soon. Now the thing is, my enemy is pretty smart here, and they get Kolek away from Ungrim. And I give Ungrim multiple attack orders to Kolek, but he's just a little dwarf. So he kind of gets stuck on these Chosen and other units that are around him. But I keep giving him attack orders to Kolek, but it's hard to chase Kolek. Kolek can run through anything. Ungrim can't really run through a lot of things. So over here, I'm going to start bombing this giant group of soldiers. But you can see some of my miners have already routed, and these Chaos Knights are routing some of my Dwarf Warriors with great weapons over there. So you can see that damage right there was mostly done from Ungrim when I finally got connected to Kolek, and then he's going to run away, and I'm going to be stuck here fighting some Chosen. And now he's over here trying to deal with my Grumbling Guard and my Peak Gate Guard who are dealing with this clump. And you can see both bombers are over here and just bombing the hell out of all of these warriors over here. These Chaos Warriors and the Aspiring Champions. And dealing a lot of damage. So now I'm going to move these two and move up to another clump that actually clumped up at the north. Now I figured there would be some clumps, but I didn't realize there would be two, which is really good for me, considering I had two Gyrobombers. So we're going to fly over here, and we're going to drop the rest of our payload on these Chaos Marauders and Warriors and Trolls. So we're just going to be just bombing the hell out of them. And now that I get a close look here, not the best bombs. If I had moved up a little bit more, then that would have been better. Oh well. I was watching it from out here, so honestly the trees were in my way, because I try to maintain this type of camera angle during battle so I can see units that retreat that way and units that retreat that way, so it's more in my mind to go grab them and bring them back, which these should be brought back here soon. Meanwhile, Ungrim is still trying to chase Kolek, and he's getting a lot of solid damage on Kolek when he can catch him, but Kolek is being very smart here and just refusing to fight Ungrim. So now Ungrim is going to be surrounded by a bunch of Chaos Marauders. You can see all I have left of my Grumbling Guard and my Peak Gate Guard just kind of sitting here down here with a Runesmith who's keeping them alive. Still more Runes of Wrath and Ruin have been dropped on like Chosen and the Chaos Warriors. You can see the Chaos Knights are nearly dead, but they are still alive enough to try and disrupt my miners. My Gyrobombers are now out of bombs, so they are nearly completely useless, but I'm going to have them start attacking Kolek, who's now killing one of my Runesmiths, who got isolated. And again, Ungrim is just kind of buried in deep with all these Trolls and Chaos Warriors and Marauders, trying to get my units back into the fight to try and support Ungrim Iron Fist. At this point, you see these units are now routing, but they will come back eventually. And now Kolek, silencing one of my Runesmith, is going to go over here to get the other Runesmith, and I'm still trying to give attack orders for Ungrim to try and get to Kolek, but he is just buried in just all these bodies, and he can't, he's a dwarf, like he can't move through all of these units, so I just kind of have to watch as Kolek mercilessly murders my two Runesmiths here, which he is doing, and now he's going to be terrifying that one. Here comes some more reinforcements from the Chaos player, bringing units back that are initially routed. And again, my Gyrobombers are just trying to shoot at Kolek because I need to try and break their leadership. That's the only way I can do this, is if I can somehow kill Kolek and maybe turn away these Aspiring Champions. The Trolls will rout really quickly because they're just Trolls. And then I'm hoping to get a mass rout because there's also some Marauders in here, and if they rout, then then the Chaos Warriors may rout as well. So again, I'm trying to snipe Kolek with anything that I have, which in this case is just these Gyrobombers, as they're getting hit in the back by these Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, but I'm just kind of ignoring them because they're not that big of a deal. And I'm just trying to bring any units that I can back into the fight. So we had units that routed coming back, and there's really not much going on here. My Grumbling Guard and Peak Gate Guard now are routing, leaving Ungrim Iron Fist alone in a heap of just massive amount of bodies. And now Kolek is going to engage once again and do some damage. I'm giving him an attack order to attack Kolek once again. But Ungrim is little. He almost killed him. He almost killed him. Well, yeah, I guess he was one shot away still. But Ungrim hit him a couple times, and so that is actually going to pull Kolek out of the fight, and he's going to start routing. I'm going to put a Gyrobomber on Kolek to try and make sure he doesn't come back, or at least kill him. And I'm also going to get a Gyrobomber on these Trolls that are now routing. So now it's just Ungrim still versus a bunch of Marauders. And you can see some of the morale is kind of getting low, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is it. This is the comeback. This is the comeback. We can break the morale right here, friends. We can do it. Just kill Kolek. That's all we needed. But the Gyrobomber's not actually going to kill Kolek, unfortunately. But if he died, then they would have got the leader is dead penalty to their morale, and that may have broken these Marauders, which may have done a mass rout. And you can see we get pretty close, but this is going to be a loss for us. Our Gyrobombers have now routed. The rest of our enemy forces, or our army is routed, leaving only Kolek because he is unbreakable, and he is going to slowly die and buried in chaos bodies. So even though I was on crack, apparently, and got two Gyrobombers in this army, which I'm going to change immediately after this recording, actually. It still wasn't terrible. Like, it could have been much worse. It was kind of a close battle there by the end. It was looking really grim earlier on, but, like, towards the end there, we finally got Kolek out, and we got the Trolls out, and it looked like, you know what, if we just had something. If we had one more bomb or just like something, it's possible we could have done a chain round and Ungrim would have won the day. But alas, Chaos is going to win the day against Ungrim Iron Fist. So good game to my opponent, Tomato Soup. Did a really good job at running away from Ungrim, which is not a diss. That's exactly what you want to do if you're Kolek Sun Eater. You run away from Ungrim because now he has that bonus versus large. I tried, man. I kept trying to get Ungrim on Kolek to shut him down, but I mean, this is the weakness of the dwarves. They're not mobile. So Ungrim could not wade through the bodies like Kolek can, so he can just kind of go in and out. And he isolated and destroyed my 2 runesmiths one at a time. And after they fell, without the runes of Wrath and Ruin and their protective runes in general, my army did not stand much of a chance after that. So decent kills with Ungrim Iron Fist there, 51. A lot of those were against Chosen, who went up straight up the middle. The Dwarf Warriors, like, I don't really have much faith in the great weapon variants of the Warriors or the Longbeards, but I thought I would give them a shot again. And they did, I mean, they did alright. Kinda, I don't know. Like, I've never liked the great weapon version of the Dwarf Warriors. Like, Hammers are solid, PK Guard is solid, Grumbling Guard is solid, but I never really liked these guys. But still, even though these Dwarf Warriors did get 45 kills, which is not bad, but everything else just kind of, Dwarf Warriors here, 31 kills is pretty nice against Marauders, and then the Gyrobombers, 63 and 44, which is not terrible. And the PK Guard netting 82 kills before they finally succumb to their wounds, I guess, and their leadership. Also not bad. Kolek, 71 kills is great. The Marauders, 40 and 50 kills. 32 is all great. Chaos Warriors are great. Chosen, 32 kills. It's not terrible. Who are they fighting? My Dwarf Warriors. And then maybe like Grumbling Guard or something. Forsaken, ton of kills, dude. 55 and 69 against the Dwarf Armor. Like, that's insane. I was not expecting them to do that well. Again, I think these were there to kill Rangers or like squishy artillery, which is a good call because they're fast and they can whip on the flanks. Aspiring Champions did what they do. Chaos Knights, 86 kills is really great. Chaos Trolls, 28 is not bad. And then the Marauder Horsemen, 8 kills is not bad, I guess. I don't know. I like Horse Masters myself, but yeah, Horsemen are okay. But again, good game to Tomato Soup. I hope you enjoyed the 2 Gyrobombers because it's probably not going to be a ability you're going to see again. Ever again. Like, 1 Gyrobomber is okay. The renowned unit, Gyrobomber, is not bad. It's not bad. But bringing 2 Gyrobombers is probably... Listen, I'm not going to say you should try it. I mean, maybe try it if you want to. I mean, hell, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your dwarves behind. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the game, and let's go watch a cinematic view of the Ungrim Iron Fist / Gyrobomber army thing. I feel like I've been playing on a lot of snow maps lately, and they are the worst maps. Snow maps are terrible. I don't know why CA thinks these snow maps look good, but they do not. Maybe they don't think they look good, they just won't change them, because they look terrible. So also, because I was trying to micromanage these Gyrobombers, I didn't actually get a lot of charges off with a lot of these units too, which is a huge mistake. I think that bomb missed.
Will do! Will do! Off we go! Pull out! Pull out! Party command! On! Yes, Lord!
I just find it's kind of like hard to really see on the snow maps. It's just so white. Whoa, whoa, hello.
Strike out! As a command! On! Right! Will do! Anu! Right! Blood for the Understood, Lord.
Yeah, I definitely wasted a few bombs on this side.
Yes, Lord.
I didn't notice they weren't over the giant clump.
Look to the rear. Go. The Iron Fist speaks.
Man, poor Ungram is buried somewhere. There he is.
Move to attack. Roll through. Shield bearers, nothing can stop us. Withdraw. Fight. Withdraw. Mediator strike. Withdraw.
They held on to the bitter end. Those Grumbling Guard and the PK Guard did. There they are. These Gyrobombers. Ungram got a few solid hits in there. Not enough though. This is what I remember from the old days. A lone Ungram by himself, surrounded by the enemies, slowly dying. Zoom in. And there he goes. Oh, he goes into a Slayer death animation. I never noticed that before. That's why his arms are crossed. He's about to swing the two axes that he does not have. Interesting. He doesn't... As far as I know, he doesn't have a death attack like normal Slayers. But it's cool that he shares that animation, I guess. He just crosses his arms. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the battle, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Take care.